remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right. Now I get paid, vacay, staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took a L, should've put it in the old free. Lord forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring, nah. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep. Like John Conjugate, R.I.P.
All right, how's it going, everybody? Dylan K. Johnson here, and welcome back to another training log. This week, we're going to be covering the dynamic effort lower body and upper body workout from week 10 of this Conjugate 12-week program that I'm currently running. So, starting off, hopefully you guys like that quick little kind of B-roll edit from the dynamic effort lower body day. So, we're going to start straight off with that, which, as you can see, I'm going through and performing a nice kind of quick dynamic warm-up for this dynamic effort lower body workout. Starting off with belt squats, then I go straight into just some kind of side squat lunges. I don't know if that's exactly what you'd call these, just kind of a squatting position and just moving side to side in more of like a lunge. And then I move over into a couple different exercises, but the whole point of these first 4 movements is purely to go through, warm up primarily my hips, my knees, my lower back, and basically just my joints and everything that's going to be taking the majority of the load for today's workout. So something that I've noticed and that I've started doing is I've really started incorporating dynamic warm-ups significantly more over the past month or so. And with that, I've noticed a huge increase in not only my performance, but also and especially my recovery. So typically, I have a hard time, in the past I've had a hard time sticking to a warm-up. I'd go in sometimes, especially when I was working out at more of a commercial gym, typically I would have had to work out like either really early in the morning or later at night, and I just would be kind of pressed for time. So I'd go in and just kind of get the workout going and just start it as quick as possible. And when I used to do that, especially if I was going pretty heavy, things like my hips would start to hurt, my wrists, my elbows, all kinds of just small aches and pains started cropping up after a little bit of time. Versus here, once I've started doing these more dynamic warm-ups where the whole point is to keep the weight light and just focus on pushing blood and loosening up the joints and the muscles that we're starting to work, not trying to exhaust or fatigue them, I've noticed a very big significance in the post-workout recovery. I'm not as sore. I'm able to push through the workouts a little bit harder. I'm able to move the weight a little bit more efficiently, I feel. And it just overall has been a huge increase in the productivity of these workouts. And personally, that's what I feel. So it's something that I'm going to be focusing on incorporating moving forward as much as possible. I know everybody always says you got to hit a warm up, you got to warm up, you got to warm up. And for me, it's like always been, yeah, I'll warm up if I feel like it. Otherwise, I'll just jump straight into it and say like, all right, I'll just treat my warm up of the movement as my warm up. And I used to do that a lot. I used to treat whatever movement I was doing as my warm up. So I'd say like if I'm doing bench press, I'd start with the bar, then I'd go up like maybe 10-15% of my 1 rep max or whatever I'd be working up to that day. I just kind of slowly work up doing like 3, maybe even 4 warm-up sets before I got into my first working set. And that got me by pretty well, but it just never was enough. Versus now, since I've actually started doing a full warm-up that gets my heart racing, gets the blood flowing, gets the joints moving, I've noticed a significant difference between just treating my first primary movement as my warm-up or just doing like any kind of regular foam rolling or anything like that. So something that I would highly recommend you guys giving a try if you aren't already doing a dynamic warm-up. Just try doing a few movements that target whatever specific muscle group and whatever kind of joints you're going to be hitting that day. Keep the weight light. Perform like 3 rounds of like 15, 20 reps per exercise, and try to find like 2 to 3 exercises. That's it. Again, keep the weight light so that you're focusing on the blood flow and just activating the muscles, not trying to pre-exhaust or fatigue them. And I guarantee you that it'll start to increase your performance, and it'll also increase your recovery rate from your workout. So definitely recommend giving it a try. But anyway, with this dynamic effort day, as you see, we're hitting just standard deadlifts with accommodating resistance. As we approach the final couple of weeks, things are starting to get pretty heavy. So right now I'm working with 65% of my 1 rep max, or approximately 120 kg. Plus accommodating resistance in the form of bands, totaling, so at lockout, I'm totaling around 90-ish% of my 1 rep max. So was getting pretty damn heavy, hit that for, I believe it was 12 sets of 3 reps, if I recall right, 12 sets of 3, or 12 sets of 2, I can't remember exactly, but 12 sets of something. Then moved over to some SSB for speed squats. With this, SSB was something that I've tried it in a few gyms before I actually owned one myself, and I always just kind of never really got the feeling for it because I never really had a gym that I never consistently worked out at a gym that had one, so I never really got to kind of use it all that much. It'd just be like, oh, hey, this is a kind of interesting bar, let me try it out, and I just never really liked the feeling of it. Whereas now that I've actually started using it more, I've really grown to like this bar a lot. Just the position that it puts you in, the padding, everything just feels more natural, I guess is the way to put it for me. The only bar so far I've tried that I like better is the camber bar. I believe that one is just my absolute favorite for squatting. Something about that just puts the bar in an amazing position, keeps my shoulders nice and healthy. I don't feel any kind of pain or issue from squatting with it. But yeah, overall, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Anyway, as I was saying, we're doing camber bar squats for speed here, accommodating resistance, and again at 65% of my 1 rep max for 12 sets of 3. And yeah, just kind of going through the movements, getting everything done, getting the work in. This was actually Christmas Eve, so unfortunately I didn't have a lot of time afterwards to hit much of a workout because we had to head over to my wife's parents' house for kind of some Christmas party stuff. So that was pretty much all I hit for that day. Didn't do any accessory movements. But this is now going to be the dynamic effort upper body day for this week 10 of this program. And you'll see a few new pieces of equipment here, which you'll be seeing and I'll be going through in a few videos coming up. But you'll see I'm actually using kettlebells here. So I got on Christmas, or actually no, not on Christmas, but a couple days before Christmas, I got in some packages from Rep Fitness. So I got kettlebells, I got a functional trainer, the FT 5000 functional trainer, a few other things, some bands, accessories, cable attachments, a whole bunch of stuff, which like I said, I'll go over in another video. But the whole point of this is I was going to be treating this as a warm-up like I usually do with the bamboo bar or the earthquake bar, just warming up my shoulders and chest and everything. But because I got the kettlebells in, I wanted to give it a try, and I gotta say, they are significantly different from using just straight up plates and things like that. So previously I'd loaded up about this much weight, or about as much weight as you just saw, with just straight plates, and it wasn't nearly as hard as when I loaded it with kettlebells. So I've got, I believe, what is the yellow? The yellow is a 25-pound kettlebell, and then the blue is a 35-pound or something like that. So that's what, 60 pounds, 120 pounds on the bar, which I've loaded up to about like 135, and it wasn't nearly as unstable or wobbly as that. So yeah, that was really interesting to see, and it's kind of cool to have the change in that movement. So yeah, if you guys have an earthquake bar or bamboo bar, I would definitely recommend loading it with kettlebells instead of just straight plates. And if you have both, give it a try, switch back and forth between one and the other, and just kind of see the difference, because I noticed a huge difference. But anyway, I was supersetting that with pull-ups, just standard bodyweight pull-ups for like 5 reps. You guys saw kind of a sneak peek of the functional trainer that I got. And yeah, overall, that was just kind of my warm-up. Went a little bit heavier than I really should have, but it was all right. Just kind of messing around today. This is the day after Christmas, so I've had a lot to eat the night before and was feeling a little bit bloated, so wasn't able to push as hard as I would have liked to, but just came in, got the work done, and played around with some of the new kind of gym equipment that I got over Christmas-ish. So yeah. With this, we're hitting the dynamic portion of the workout now. So speed bench. As you guys know, what I like to do with speed benching is I like to control the negative, whereas a lot of people tend to just throw the weight as fast as they can around. Just from the start of the movement, they'll pull it down to their chest, drive it into their chest, and bounce out of their chest and just kind of throw the weight around in order to keep it moving as quickly as possible. For me, I don't like to do that. I like to control the negative, pause, and then drive out of the hole. I find that it's a little bit trickier, a little bit harder, but it's also more controlled, and it helps keep my shoulders and joints and everything a lot safer, and I'm able to control the weight more and feel the movement, which is kind of more of what I'm trying to do. So yeah, with this, again, 65% of my 1 rep max plus about, what is that, like 25% accommodating resistance. So still sitting around 90% with the accommodating resistance at lockout, and hit 12 sets of, what am I doing? 3, 2, whatever that was, 2 or 3s. Again, I can't remember exactly. I believe it was 3s. And yeah, just finishing the workout off with a couple different things, just playing around with some of those movements, or some of the new things that I got. So you can see here, I'm just doing some kettlebell front raises, focusing on those front delts a little bit more, just to, again, try things out, play around with some of the new toys, new equipment, and just kind of get a feel for it. There again in the background, you can see that functional trainer. Like I said, I'll go through a full detailed video of that soon. I'm really enjoying it. It was a bit of a pain to set up, but overall it really wasn't too bad. Took about like 3 hours just by myself. My wife helped me out a couple times here and there, but yeah, really going to enjoy having that. Especially my wife is going to enjoy being able to go through and do all her more isolation movements versus me. I tend to do more like compound stuff, as you guys know. But anyway, that's going to be the dynamic effort workouts for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coming at you all the time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the